everybody, this is Phoebe from Studiostone Creative. Today I'm going to show you how to carve some of our small animal series. We have the butterfly, the bee, the frog, the fish, and the turtle. Let's start with carving the frog. To begin, always we need to make sure the stone is wet. This is to prevent any airborne dust or any breathing in of particles. So you may have different tools. You may have our little file here. This is good for the top side and the bottom side. Maybe you've bought one of these. These are our diamond files. They use diamond dust and they are strong. They're very strong. And they're a lot smaller, and so it's nice and easy to get up into the corners. Let's start with our regular sanding stick. So to begin, you want to lower down the legs, and so you can make the body nice and big. So this round part here is the head, and the bottom part here is the tail. So I like my frogs to be nice and chunky. So just hold the stone down and start rubbing. You want to do both sides here, down here, flip it around, do down here. Now, with this, you don't need to do both sides, as the frog is kind of top heavy. So, whenever your sanding stick gets muddy, what you can do is you can just dip it into the water and you can just wash it. You can brush off the dust, but it's better if you brush it off into the water. It's not so nice when you flick it at people. Try and keep it in the water and brush it off like this. And there we go, nice and clean. Eventually, you would have brought the legs down at least a little bit. You can aim for about 50% or about just a quarter, having been taken down. But you want to have enough that you can round out the edge to make it nice and voluptuous. Okay, so you see here, we've taken down some of the leg. What you want to do now is you want to round this part out. Now, if we imagine that the legs, the feet are on the ground and then the legs come up like so, what we want to do is we want to push the sides down. So this is my head at a diagonal like this. There we go. At a diagonal like this, we're going to just hold it down and push this way. So it looks like the feet are coming from the ground, like a big splat. That's always how I imagine frogs to be like, just splat on the ground. And as you can see, it starts to curve down. I'm just going to take a little bit of time. And then after you have it nice and splat on the floor, you can just start to round it out. And to round out, you just go diagonal. So I need to wash my file. Let's just give it a little wash. I'll even wash my stone so it's clear what I'm doing. And then we can see here, just start filing this and really start to shape the legs. As you can see here, I have filed this down and rounded it a little bit. So here I am sanding some of the frog legs. After you start to round it out, after you've taken down a good chunk, maybe about a quarter, I would say, here I'm starting to make the legs or the feet kind of be a little bit more into the floor. I want there to be a nice little transition, like the frog is just splat on the ground, because frogs are almost very liquidy in their movements and their squidginess. So we'll have this on the floor. So what you can do is you can hold it and then just press the legs down to make a nice diagonal transition. As you can see, it's starting to get there. Just gotta keep it going, like this one. And then, yeah, we'll start to do the belly. Welcome back. So, as you can see, I have carved the little legs down a little bit more. And now we're gonna round out the body. So, we want to go diagonal again. So we hold it down onto the table, for example, and we just start rubbing it. And now you're going to really start to shape your frog. And yep, same thing with filing stick. And you don't just want to hold it in one area and just do one angle. You want to move it in multiple angles. Now, after you've taken off a good chunk, I like to do circle movements. And I really feel like these circle movements help make a nice smooth and round shape. So if you're struggling to get it nice and round, I recommend using circles. Okay, so I have my basic rounded shape of my frog. Now it's time for the details. Let's make it extra froggy. So for example, for the tail, I like to have it come up a little bit from the ground. So instead of it being completely flat, I'll have a little tail here. And then I also quite enjoy making a face. So to do that, if you have one of these files, this will work. Alternatively, you can have these little sticks here, and this will help you. You can draw, for example. I'm just going to use this, and we can just make a little line here. And then this is how we make a little line for the head. I think it's cute. Not mandatory, but I love a good frog appearance. Wide mouth, there we go. I'm also going to shape it just a little bit. So I'm going to make the head just a little bit off the ground. So to do that, let's try moving it up a little bit. I've flipped it upside down and I'm just giving it a bit of a neck. Just rounding out the head just a little bit. Okay, we're also going to make some eyes. So to do so is reduction technique. So as stone is a subtraction art, to make things look bigger or to make things protrude, we need to remove from around it. So for the eyes, I'm going to make sure in the middle here, I am making some lines. So to begin with, I'll use the edge of my file and I'll put a line here. And then I will also let me see, if I want the eyes to be here, I will file around here. And then here too. So I'm removing from around to make it look like there are eyes sticking out. Again, these parts are not mandatory. This is all up to your own creativity. So I'm going to reduce some more of the back area. I like my frogs to be as caricature as possible, just for my own artistic preference. And then I'm going to shape the body a little bit more, just to blend in a little bit more seamlessly. with those bulging eyes. I think we can do a little bit deeper. A little bit there. And a little bit there. Get right behind. Got his eyes. Got his mouth. And next step, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do his feet. This is a personal preference. I'm going to use the corner, the edge of the file, and I'm just going to make little incisions. Oh, sometimes it's difficult to get a grip, so instead of going straight on, just tilt it to the side a little bit. Take your time. Another thing to note, when you carve something that's so tiny, actually I think that's good enough. When you carve something that's so tiny, there's a higher chance of it breaking as well. So just be careful. It's good to be confident with the amount of stone that you remove, because the rounder, the better. But just be aware, when you start to remove a lot of stone, that area becomes more fragile. So cute. Actually looks like a really cute frog. Okay, and there we have our little frog. We have some details put in here. Some details for the legs and the mouth and the eyes. You can use the corners of these standing sticks too to create a similar effect. Or if you have the diamond files, you can get right up in there and make a cleaner line. I like to do little dentations for the legs, just for some extra details. But I'm quite happy with this now, so it's ready for the sanding. So what you want to do is you want to use the orange first and then the yellow. The orange has a thicker grit sandpaper, and then the yellow is smoother. So this will get rid of all of the scratches, and it's better to spend longer with the orange sandpaper. Whereas with the yellow sandpaper, it will smooth it out and make it nice and shiny. So to use sandpaper, what we need to do is we need to dip it into the water. This is for both sandpapers. We keep them nice and wet, and we're going to do a wet sand. My stone also needs to be wet as well, because I'm not a fan of the dust. And so we just start scrubbing away. And it's almost like we're cleaning the stone. We're really scrubbing. And if you're sanding and you feel like nothing is happening, try and press harder. Try circle movements. You can try side to side. And what you want to do now is remove those scratches and make it nice and smooth. So, a few minutes with this. Once you're happy with it, we'll move on to the yellow. Here I have sanded my frog and I'm pretty happy with it. So now it's time for the yellow. Now pay attention when you do use the yellow, because it gets so shiny and so smooth. It's honestly truly beautiful to see the natural colors of the stone come out, and you get a glimpse into what it will look like when it's been waxed. As you can see, that was a couple of seconds, and look, it's so beautiful and so shiny already. And again, I'm going to fold it and I'm going to get in the middle of the eyes. I want to get around them. I want to get into the nooks and all the crannies, right up in the crevices, and make it nice and smooth. So this one is just for a couple of minutes. You can already see such a difference. So keep it up. The last stage is waxing. To do so, we have a piece of wax here. This is paraffin, food safe wax. And what we're going to be doing is we're going to be coating our sculpture with the wax. Now to do so, we have to melt this and heat up the stone so it adheres to the soapstone. This is already waxed. So already you can see the difference between, let's see this one. This one's kind of gray. It feels a little bit chalky still. Whereas this one, it's nice and smooth. You can see all the natural patterns, the color of the stone. So to do so, we need to heat up the stone. We can use a hairdryer or we can use a heat gun. And then we're going to coat it with the wax. So let's heat up our stone. Now, as my stone is hot enough, I can now just rub the wax on top. Just like that. Be careful if it's very, very hot. You don't want to burn yourself. You want to do this all over. If there are any scratches on your stone in the future, you can reheat your stone and the wax will seep into those scratches and essentially make them disappear. Now this little piece of wax is enough for your animal, but if you're looking for something more temporary or without the heat element, you can use oils. But these are only temporary as the stone will soak them up again. So just be careful when you apply the wax as it is hot. And you want to let them dry for a little bit just so they cool down. To speed up the drying process, you can dip them into water, cold water, and this will make the wax harden. So I'm going to wax the rest of my pieces and then we can talk about etching. Now for me and the frog, I want to emphasize those little eyes that I did. So I've overdrawn the eyes a little bit. Frogs tend to have little spots, little boils, little bumps. So I'm just doing a few little circles here. Students can carve their initials. They can draw some patterns if they want to. Any details you feel like you missed, you can implement with a sharp tool. I like that. So now we have the turtle, the butterfly, the bee, the fish, and the frog. They've been carved, they've been sanded, they've been waxed, and they've been etched too. Thank you for carving with me today. My name is Phoebe, and I hope you have a wonderful day.